What's up, you guys? It's your girl Summer. Okay, let's get to it. Now, a lot of us are aware that Miss Netta had a long-term relationship prior to her meeting Charles. It had been a lot of speculation on the internet about how this individual passed, even some people going as far as blaming Miss Netta, like legit saying that she went and did something criminally, which resulted in him no longer being here with us today. But while she was in Atlanta, she ended up going into full detail of the story of her ex. And after hearing the details of his story, it's actually pretty sad. And it makes me wonder, like, dang, I can't imagine what she felt having to hear people make the accusations that they were making about her, with her carrying this with her. Check out what she had to say and let me know your thoughts. Be kind, people.
Like, and knowing I can cook or whatever, I'm like, I'm finna get up out of this thing off eat out stuff and start cooking my food.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
Okay.
But it took about a year or so.
Who did you learn your cooking?
I learned my cooking from my auntie.
Oh, okay.
My auntie in Cleveland, she learned me how to cook over the phone. I would call her.
Ohio?
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, St. Louis.
But I stayed in Cleveland here.
Oh, okay.
And with me in 2000. Mm-hmm. So we moved back home, and that's when his health started falling.
Oh.
And it got worse and worse, and and then he died having a heart attack.
Was he already older, or?
Oh, he was only 4 years older than I am. When he passed away, he was, I think I was 42, and I was 38. Yeah, I was 38 and he was 42.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, Lord. And then the thing about it is that he died in his sleep. Mm-hmm. So he went away peaceful. Mm-hmm. And he also died. He was going through a lot of issues with his body. Because he had, like, a lot of people don't know about this disease called diabetic neuropathy. Do you know anything about diabetic neuropathy? It's like a bone pain in the legs and the feet and the toes and all of that stuff. And he had an issue. He was dealing with diabetes neuropathy, and he would be in so much pain sometimes till he holler and scream and cry and stuff in the middle of the night. And I was a night shift worker, so I would get off in the morning around maybe 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. So to respect for me to get sleep, we had a 2-bedroom, and to respect for me to get sleep so I can go to work the next day, he would go, and if he was having a lot of pain, but we slept together. Yeah. He having a lot of pain, he would go and he would sleep in the other room. Mm-hmm. And the night that and he was a heavy drinker. He was a very heavy drinker. Okay. He had quit drinking. Now, I never shared this story with nobody. I never shared this story with Facebook. Nobody. I never shared this story with nobody, And, it was around, it wasn't around. He started having heart issues going on. Mm-hmm. So he had a doctor's appointment to go see a heart doctor to see what was going on, because he was having a lot of chest pain and, shortness of breath and all that other stuff. So, what happened was that, this story be crazy. But anyway, what happened was that he, dang, okay.
You have to talk about it, Phil.
I'm gonna talk about it. I done moved on. He's been gone now for 8 years. I'm in a whole different relationship and stuff. Yeah. And, I'm happy in my relationship, and I can talk about it and stuff. But sometimes it sent me to a part, because the way it happened, it was terrible. And nobody knows this. And everybody was telling me to going around talking about, and that would hurt me so bad to the fact, because everybody was on social media was going around saying that I killed him. And I don't even have a heart to kill. I can't even shoot nobody. I can't stab nobody. I can't do none of that, because I don't have that heart to do that. But anyway, they don't know me. Yeah. But that particular night, he was going to the doctor the next morning. Oh. I had my dog Lily. Particular morning, that first morning before we was going to the doctor, he damn, okay, what happened? My mind is gone, because I've been trying to forget all of that. Yeah. But he's supposed to be going to the doctor. Mm-hmm. So he woke up that morning. When I woke up that morning, he was in the other room. Mm-hmm. And I went in the other room, and I was touching on him and stuff, and he was non-responsive. And I'm like, oh my God, like, what's going on? So I dialed 911. And so when 911 came, they came to the house and they looked at him, they checked him out. They said his sugar was, I want to say they said his sugar was 12. So therefore, he was in a diabetic coma. So they had me to go to the kitchen and get peanut butter crackers and orange juice and all of that stuff to bring it back. So I went to the kitchen, I got there, they gave him the peanut butter, the orange juice and stuff, and maybe about 20 minutes later, boom, he came out of it. That was all at the house. They didn't take him to the hospital. So they was like, hey, so what you want to do? So he's like, I want to go to the hospital. So they was like, well, we don't think that you need to go to the hospital because, your problem is thick. Your sugar was low. Now we got it to where it was at. And I kept telling him about him having the heart things or whatever. I'm like, I think you need to go to the emergency room. So they kept saying like, no, we don't think you need to go. So anyway, we didn't go to the emergency room that day. So we was staying in an apartment, so we was house hunting. So the next day, I called off from work, and I was like, we're gonna go house hunting. And this was February the 11th. And so after that, we riding around. He had stopped drinking. Now, I mentioned it. I told you he was a very heavy drinker, and he stopped drinking. And when he stopped, he stopped drinking. And when we was on our way home, he was like, hey. He's like, could you stop by the liquor store? And I was like, wait a minute, you've been doing so good, but like, are you sure this is what you want to do? And he kept telling me like, I just want the liquor at home just to have it at home. And so, after that happened, so I said, okay, so he went on in the liquor store and he seen I had an attitude about it because I was like, I don't think you should do this to yourself because, you work so hard and haven't had anything to drink. So he got in the car and he just went in his wallet and he gave me all his money that went in his wallet and he was like, here, happy Valentine's Day. And I was like, well, I don't like that. I'm like, Valentine's Day is in 2 days. Don't give me no money today. I said, Valentine's Day is on the 14th. I don't want it. Don't give it to me on Valentine's Day. And his words to me was like, he's like, I wanted to give it to you because, we don't know if we're going to be here the next day or whatever.
Do you think down in his heart he knew?
Yeah. And so, after he said that to me, I'm like, okay. So we went on to the house, we went home, and when we went home, my little space was my room with my TV, everything, and he always had like the living room part where he would go watch his stuff because we were separate. He watched his stuff, I watched my stuff. Yeah. So I was in my room, talking and, watching TV, and he called me on the phone on FaceTime, and he was like, hey, he said, I'm going to sleep in the bed with you tonight. We're going to sleep in the bed tonight together. Are you going to sleep in the other room? I said, are you sure? Are you going to be in a lot of pain? I was like, I'm not, I don't got to go to work tomorrow or whatever. I was like, so if you want to, you can. He like, I don't know. He was like, I just see how my pain feeling by the time I get ready to go to bed. So I said, okay. So, I didn't talk to him no more that night. And so, he had to go to the doctor, the heart doctor that particular morning. So, that particular morning, my mom was going to keep the dog and, I woke up, he went in the bedroom with me. So I was like, okay, well, he must have slept in the other room. I went to the bedroom door and I'm approaching the bedroom door. I swear to God, I just had a feeling like come over me, like a bad feeling come over me. And so I opened up the bedroom door and when I looked at the bedroom door, I walked closer to him and I was like, okay, I was like, when I got to him, I was like, he dead, I was like, he dead. And then, I touched him and when I touched him, his body was froze, like it was cold, like it was hard, it was stiff. Yeah. And I'm looking like, oh my God, like, so after that, it's like, okay, well, I started panicking and stuff, and my thing was instead of me calling the paramedic, I called my mom. I said, Mama, Darrell is dead. And she's like, what? I was like, he dead. And she's like, well, why'd you calling me? Call the paramedic. Can I get a bank? Yeah. I was like, and she's like, call the paramedics. And I'm like, okay, so I called the paramedics. And I called the paramedics. Before the paramedics had got there, my sister and my mom and them, they was already there. And so, after that had happened, that's when the coroners and people, they came into the house and stuff and they pronounced that he was dead. And, I was just like, I was just tore up about it. Just, it just really got me. And my whole thing is that, okay, well, he said, that night he called me, he was like, he wanted to come, sleep with me at first. And I was like, now what if he would have came in, stepped in the bed with me, and he would have died in the bed with me? What would be my reaction? How would I would have reacted? And what would have happened to me? Because I already have a, state of mind of going to a person that you love, seeing them dead. That was my first time. At that point in time, I was 38 years old. That was my first time ever seeing a dead body, which would have been a corpse, and oh my God, it just told me all in the inside. So yeah, that's my little story with my, he was not my husband. We were together for 20 years. Yeah. So if they want to call it common law marriage or whatever, they can do whatever they want to.
Say, over 20 years, 10 years plus, he's your husband.
Yeah. So after all of that had happened and stuff, and, I know that, I have life still in me and life goes on. Mm-hmm. That was 2016. 2018, that's when I met Charles, and that's when I got into another relationship, and it's just been there all that time.
One door closes, another door opens.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh my God, but it was like nobody knows Charles' real feeling about me because they don't know Charles and they don't know me. But a lot of people try to make it seem like that Charles don't care nothing about me. He's disgusted of me. He hate me. He don't like me. But they don't actually know what goes on in my house behind closed doors. What they see on social media is just a front. That's what we do. We're content creators. We comedians. We do stuff that's funny. So we do stuff like that. So it might not be real, and it might be real. They never know, but we're not going to, tell them that. Mm-hmm. But, to the fact it's like the other, I don't overcrowd Charles. Charles don't overcrowd me. Mm-hmm. Charles loves me just like I love him.
I see that personally.
But they don't see it because they don't know our real life. Yeah. A lot of people, when they come around, they just like when she was doing my face and stuff, Charles came, he grabbed me, he held my hand and everything, and she was just like, I didn't never see that in him. Yeah. She was like, I always seen him that, yeah. And that's just his personality and just the way he is. But deep down inside, Charles really care about me just as much as I care about him. And,
he was denying that.
Yeah, and people don't realize that, but it ain't for them to realize. Mm-hmm. We know what's true love. We know how we feel about each other. It's not, whatever. But once we get ourselves together and we come, and we want to bring our life for these people, then they'll see it. Yeah. But it's coming. It's coming one day. Mm-hmm. And it's coming soon. Mm-hmm. But they'll get the whole concept of Charles when they see us in real life. On TV, television, not on internet, social media and all that stuff. When we hit the big screen, then that's when they will see the whole reality of Charles and Miss Netta's life. And then they can judge. But I'm guarantee you that I'm going to tell you this right here. No relationship is perfect. Not one relationship is perfect. All relationships have drama. All relationships have fussing. Now, all of them don't have no fighting, but all of them have fussing. We don't do that. But people don't realize that our relationship is not perfect. So I'm just getting them prepared to when we go on. We're not perfect. We're not a perfect couple. We love each other, but we're not perfect. So we do make mistakes. We do say things to each other maybe wrong and harsh because that's just how people do. Black people do because that's what we do. So it's just be like, they'll get a chance to see the real Charles.